got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head constantly, thoughts jumbled round, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative, I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show them what I got, I'm competitive. You know I'm about to go off, I won't let them win, I'll take a stab. I wanna chase the bag, I wanna weigh, I can change all the things I lack. I gotta face the facts, I got a taste in that. Got me obsessed with the rest, I got an itch to scratch. No way now, I'll give up everything.
The venom in my brain, running from the past, wanna escape my pain. I just wanna be a better person, I deserve this, I just wanna break these chains. I was destined for greatness, true to myself, I never fake it. Seen too many once that I so they get famous. And when I say the truth, most really can't take it. In spite of everything I've been through, I'ma make it. Fake friends, but on my downfall is toxic. Day one, started the outlaws for profit. Now all I do is write verses, no talking. All I do is put the work in, no option. This was everything I ever wanted, created a legacy off of me just being honest. And the fake ones hate, but it's all to no avail. They wanna see me lose, but you know I never fail.
I'll give up everything, daunting if I can see my dream. Things up, 'cause I'll do anything. Want a reality.
That never gets old. And I'll tell you what, yeah, my scenery is a little bit different. I'm in Morgantown, West Virginia. And you know what? I did not come down with sled dogs. I just made it on 79 like everybody else. But yeah, there's lots of snow here. And I'll tell you what, lots and lots of moving pieces. We're going to talk about recruiting, of course, transfer portal. Hope, hype, money. Does that equal success? Well, it should equal ticket sales. I have a feeling that they're not having as much difficulty as they did the past few seasons selling tickets. So, you know, butts in seats, eyeballs on TVs or, you know, phones or whatever. But let's talk about the Mountaineer basketball team real quick. Guys, it was a rough one. The West Virginia came within maybe, 6 for a short period of time, but they're never in it. Shooting wasn't there. And it's starting to show when you're not when Tucker's not in the game. But this is the first game since Pitt where I was a little bit disappointed. But hey, guys, it's a long season. We're a long way away from March. It's only the 7th of January, and a lot of things to be thankful and hopeful for. So in the thumbnail, we talked about hope. And you know, when Rich Rod takes over, or he has taken over, the things that he succeeds at, and I was looking back at, you know, some stats, and I'm not going to just spit stats because I'll screw them up, but the bottom line is this. Rich Rod runs a simpler, I don't even want to say simpler offense. It's an offense that you don't see as many mistakes. And when you combine, you know, less frequent errors with fast, talented guys, the end result is what you see on this show to start every show. The highlights, the Tavon Austins, the Noel Devines, the explosive plays. And that's what builds hope. Think back to, and if you can't think back, if you've only been a Mountaineer fan for the last couple of years, look back at tape from 04, 05, 06, 07. Those teams, it wasn't a matter of if they blew up a big play and just ran for 40, 50, 60 yards in a TD. It was when. And how many plays we were going to see like that. So let's go to the chat and say hello to everyone. Kenny Evans, you got to lose some time, but it's a long ride. That's so true. Unfortunately, the one they won against Arizona wasn't a conference game. However, I think it was more eyeballs saw that game, right? More eyeballs definitely saw that game in the tournament when they beat Arizona. Kelly, hope you're feeling well. And WVU fan 13, good to see you in here. We have 20 or 30 people in the chat. It's good to see. But if you have any questions or comments, feel free to hit me up in the message in the chat, and we'll bring it up. We'll talk about it. But to start these shows off, I really like to go through and talk about what we have, not what we lost. And as as things change, you have to think about this. West Virginia has been very aggressive. Literally, it's like D-Day. Rich Rod landed like the beaches of Normandy, put his foot down in Morgantown, and has started the battle. And I know the last week it was, he's firing up the battalion, and he's getting ready, and he's getting ammunition. Rich Rod's keeping Gallagher and Jaheim White. So, that's big. Those are definitely some hard edge guys you want to keep on the team. They're losing, they lose a few players, like on a cornerback position, Crandall and Garnes, and, for linebackers, Trotter and Trey Lathan, but guys, they're just, it's the next man up. They got Jalen Henderson, that A&M quarterback that's a lefty, which kind of is neat. If you're running an offense, I think, and I don't really know for sure, I'm not an expert, but it seems like it would be easier calling plays if both your quarterbacks, favor the same side. But, Jalen Henderson is definitely a threat. LJ Turner, he seems like to be a real wiry, quick twitch guy. Wide receivers, they got Orrin Singleton Jr., Jared Bowie from Jacksonville State. Cyrus Traw, he's a hometown guy. I think he's from Parkersburg. Did he play at Youngstown State? I have to look at my notes. I don't have my notes. I don't have my setup, so it's kind of hard going off my memory, which is crap. But they got a tight end from Iowa. What's his name? Johnny Pascuzzi. That's it. And they, last week, I think it was it UWV 13 was saying Walter Youngbear. Was it Youngbear? Yeah, Walter Youngbear. He's a offensive lineman. I thought he was a defensive lineman, but oh well. We got a linebacker coming from a UNC, Ashton Woods, and then it's Ethan Head. From the stats I've read, it doesn't seem like he has a lot of. What was he, 18 for 21? Let me pull it up here. Yeah, 18 for 21. I don't know. Jury's out on him. And I keep going back to that old Mike Myers movie, So I Married an Axe Murderer. Remember the guy was saying he eat head now? Like the kid had a big head, wanted to sit down. Anyways, I'm all over the place today. So, guys, it's tough. Especially you're filling your staff. And like I mentioned before, I'm all over the place. You fill your staff and you're like, hey, by the way, thanks for coming on board. There's the bathroom. There's your desk. Here's a phone. Go. Really? I mean, these guys are living out of hotels. Last night, coworker of me ran into Noel Devine. Super nice guy. I didn't even talk to him about football or anything. My coworker was chatting him up. It's easier if you're a girl. Chatting him up a little bit. Everybody's running up, getting selfies. Like, hey, I know you. Of course you do. You've been wearing his jersey for the past 15 years. And it's 2 sizes too small every time you go to the game. Of course you know who Noel Devine is. But it was a BW Wings over here in Suncrest. But guys, yeah, these coaches are getting hired. And it's like, boom, make it happen. I mean, I don't know who has been working Johnny Pescuzzi, or, has it been Rich Rod? I mean, that's what I would like to know. Ethan Head. Did he reach out to Rich Rod? Did Rich Rod reach out to him? Those are questions I'd like to have answered. And man, it's tough getting people to talk about that, because the way they're conducting their business, they're not really letting us know. And we don't really see that when we're reading, the Post Gazette, or if you're looking at, say Kuz's Corner, or Mountaineer Paul's show. I mean, it's tough. They have their ends and they have their contacts. And, when Rich Rod was being interviewed, I was trying to get hold of people that work at TSA, people I know that work in the Pittsburgh airport. And you just don't know. I mean, you can't keep track unless you put one of those iPhone tags, in his coat pocket as he's running around, Ren Baker. You don't know what's happening. But, man, Rich Rod, to be successful, I really think in today's football world, the old ball coach is going to have to get a couple high school studs every year. I'd say 4 or 5 good high school guys, because I think there's something to be said when you have a ball coach that's been around for a while, that they can sit a few years in the running back room, in the quarterback, in the QB room, learning. Nico, it's going to be tough to dethrone Nico. I know there's a lot of haters out there that are saying, he's not a dual threat quarterback, can't run. Rich Rod was successful with a guy that was laid in front of Pat White, and his name was Adam Bernardic. And Adam was a good pocket passer, a real tall, big, strapping guy. Unfortunately, he got hurt. And unfortunately for, the program, Pat White got to see some time. But let's go to the chat, see what you guys are saying. I'm just rambling on here. But Kelly said, yeah, well, he brings instant credibility to that room, especially he's such a big name. And I know we just know him here in, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Ohio, maybe Virginia. We know who he is. But my God, just having that experience, a coach that has played in BCS bowl games and won them. Okay. As a player, that's big. That's big, Now, the quarterback, now Kenny, Rich Rod was talking to a kid who, oh my gosh, I'll mess this kid's name up. I know I will. Oh, God bless it. I'm going to look it up, make sure I don't. McWarty. Come on, Shane. You can do it. You can do it. Come on, help me in chat. McWarty, the kid from Georgia, broke his tibia and had his ankle dislocated. I've had my ankle dislocated. Brody McWhorter. Yeah. Okay. That's probably what it is. Look at my notes. Guys, that's a hell of an injury. Now, this kid was supposed to come to West Virginia under Brown. In my understanding, he decommitted. I don't know the reasons. Probably, that's just a knee-jerk reaction when you lose a coach. These kids just, because what happens is as soon as that coach is on a slippery slope, other coaches are in your ear being negative. Okay, so that's what happens. The McWhorter kid is I think he's 16 years old, so he has 2026. I think is when he's going to come in. So I think that's going to be good. But Kenny, I think you're talking about the kid from the quarterback from where? Was it from Jalen Henderson from A&M? Is that who you're talking about? Yeah. I think that's who you're talking about. Here's the thing with the backups. And we can talk about basketball just for a second. I know it's apples and oranges, but just hear me out. Arizona put on a clinic because of the tempo. West Virginia is, it wears players down. It's a grind. So having a guy to go in there for a few reps for here and there, and when someone's bruised and someone's sore, because what happens when the body's wore down? Well, you're more prone to injury. So what's Kelly say here? Well, we talked about that. Any news on defensive players come back? No, Kenny. No news. I scoured the internet from 6 to 7:30 looking to see if I've seen anything. Also, I called a few people. Nothing. Goose egg. Guys, it's so fluid, and you got to understand it's going to open up again, and I feel like recruiting is like wiping your butt with a hoop, as my grandma would say. You turn around and it seems like you're right back where you started. Look at McWhorter. I mean, you're recruiting the same kid that decommitted back again. Even guys we still have like Gallagher and White. At the end of the year, it's almost like you have to take them out for steak and lobster. You know what I mean? You have to make them feel loved again. So, if you just want to recap some of these guys, so that Paguzzi, the kid from Iowa, from what I have written down here, this guy is like 6'4", 230. Okay. But he's only had 2 receptions for like 40 or 50 yards. Okay. So that really doesn't turn my head. But here's the thing. Being able to identify talent, take that talent, coach them up, and then win on Saturdays. These are a continuous A, B, C, D transition that we haven't seen under Brown. We didn't see it under Brown. I wouldn't have to say we've seen it on our Holgorsen. I didn't really see it. There were some missing components there, whether it be developmental. I think Holgorsen was a better game day coach. He was a great offensive mind, but there's something to be said about, having the whole package as a coach. Is Rich Rod, Bear Bryant? Is he, as good as Nick Saban? No. But he has that hard edge. He knows the culture. And I was talking about this at dinner with a West Virginia fan. We went to Mama something over there, and over there by the Hampton Inn. A really good food. They had fried cheese sticks, pepperoni. And then they had they had bacon wrapped around it. Man, I had someone shared that with me. Man, it was so good. But anyways, something to be said about having a coach that knows the culture, and is investing in his coaching staff. This is the first time. You remember when he left, he really wanted to pay one of the things was he wanted to pay his assistant coaches a little bit more. And look back at what he was making compared to other coaches at the time. And we really quick to point the finger and bitch and moan about Rich Rod. I'm guilty of this. But looking back, the administration was very culpable, and they could have done more to keep him. But here we are. But, you got to recruit these guys every cycle, and you have to constantly be evaluating the talent. Now, on the other end, these kids are constantly looking to their left and right and jockeying and position themselves to be in the best position to see playing time, because you can't get where you want to go as an athlete by sitting on the bench, right? You can only wait so long, and then you're not going to have any opportunities. So, it's one of those things. It's just rough. But yeah, Mountain Mamas, Eric. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, we had those mozzarella sticks were fire. So yeah, Kelly, Brody McWhorter. That doesn't even sound like a real name. Doesn't even sound like a real name. But I just want to get with you tonight for a little bit, talk about some of these players. There's some interesting things, Jack Bicknell, I guess he was the O-line coach at Wisconsin, is going to be serving in the same capacity or some sort of O-line capacity for Rich Rod, and they work together under Ole Miss. But, all of these names coming in, Castile, all of these names, he's just putting the pieces to his puzzle together. We're going to have a better idea of what the Mountaineers are going to look like come the spring game. And have you been as pumped up? I've never been pumped up for a spring game, but I'm pretty damn excited to see what product is on the field in April. So with that, coming to you from Morgantown, West Virginia, this is I'm usually here on Tuesday nights, but I'm all over the place. So take care. I'll talk to you soon, and let's go Mountaineers.